Hi everyone, and welcome to Chatting with Khloe. So today I decided to do Chatting with Khloe by myself. Some of you know me as Khloe Cares, but outside of Khloe Cares, I just go by Khlo. I'm 13 and I'm in the 8th grade. First off, I have a list of questions I'm going to ask myself for you all to get to know me. First question, what are my hobbies? So some of my hobbies are reading, drawing. I love to draw faces. Sketching. I love sketching outfits. I love reading. I love sewing. I love doing pottery. And yeah, those are some of my hobbies. Those are some things that I like to do. And what do I want to be when I grow up? One thing I want to be when I get older is a fashion designer. Fashion has been one of my favorite things since I don't know how long. And I love fashion. It's one of the things that I love doing. It's the one thing I want to pursue in life. Fashion design is a huge part of my life. So, what inspires me about fashion, or what inspired me to do fashion? So, what inspired me to start doing fashion and pursuing that was originally when my grandma started teaching me how to sew. You know, she really inspired me to want to do fashion, as well as, you know, that first bag really helped me through those fashion years, as well as she taught me how to make shirts, skirts, dresses, all those things. And then I started going to this place called the Fashion Camp. And that's where I really realized that's what I want to do, because again, they taught me how to make shirts, skirts, dresses, bags, duffel bags. And if you had a pattern of your own and you wanted to bring it in, they would help you make it yourself. And they were just awesome about those things. And I loved going there because I was able to make so many awesome things. And it just helped me realize that's one thing I want to do. I want to be a fashion designer and I want to make clothes. And so I'm gonna ask this as if I'm the host and then I have a guest. So you're attending pre-college classes at Parsons. What is that like? It is so much fun. I love doing pre-college classes at Parsons. One thing is I wake up really early in the morning to get on the call. I have to go through the class. It's as if actually in college, and I go through the class. I get to talk to my teacher. She talks to us about everything that we're doing. And then we have homework and we have projects that we have to do by the end of this class. And that's one thing I do like about it, is because the different projects help me in my skills and improve my skills. And you read a lot. So, what are some of your favorite books? Some of my favorite books are The Great Gatsby. That was probably one of my favorites. And then I have I Am Malala behind me. That is also another one of my favorite books. And then another one, I would say, any Shakespeare. Shakespeare is he's just such a great writer, and he has such amazing plays, and just them in books. I just love them. Like right now, I'm reading Romeo and Juliet, and last time I read Cleopatra and Antony. I believe that's what it's called. And you are now a vegetarian. How is that going? It's going great. I love being a vegetarian. I just I wanted to do a lifestyle change. I wanted to change how I ate. I wanted to change. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to do a lot of things with myself, and becoming a vegetarian was one of the steps towards it. It was one of the steps of eating better, and now I feel like I'm doing so much better. I feel so much better. I just love being vegetarian. I think it was probably one of the best choices I've made. I'm able to try so many new foods and see so many different, like, see just the food like that I would think would be gross before thinking about it, and then really trying it and seeing how delicious it is. Like, I had mushrooms for the first time and they were so good, and I didn't think that they would be good because, when you think about mushrooms, you don't think that they're going to taste too good. Another thing, when I was younger, I wanted to be a vet. So why did I change that career? Well, the reason why I changed that career was because I learned that veterinarians actually have a high suicide rate. And so since that, I didn't want to live a life where I would be sad a lot, because you can lose animals and it can be a very sad time. And so I didn't want to have a job that I would be sad at all the time. And I wanted to have a job where I would be more on the happy side. But I'm still going to be able to work with animals because I want to work and volunteer at different animal shelters. So I'm still going to have that part of my life when it comes to working with animals. So, what are you binge watching at the moment? Right now, I am binge watching Criminal Minds. I love that show so much. I think one of my favorite characters is Reed. He is my favorite. I feel like he's everybody's favorite. And Penelope, she's another one of my favorites. Yeah, and those are my two favorites on that show. I just finished binge watching The Simpsons. I love that show. It was very long. It took me all quarantine to finish it, but I loved it. And they just came out with a new season on Disney Plus, and so I just watched that as well. And then I also binge watched New Girl. I just finished that. I'm trying to think of another show I'm binge watching right now. Oh, and then I'm binge watching this show called The Parkers. I love it, and I think everybody should watch all those shows. They're such amazing shows. And you watch shows like Criminal Minds, The Office, and Friends. So what intrigues you about most about these shows? I think what intrigued me and like what made me want to watch these shows is I saw a lot of other people watching them, and I was like, I wonder what these shows are about. Or like I would see little snippets of the shows on TV, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty funny, so let me watch it. Um, that's how I started watching The Office and Friends, and same thing with Criminal Minds. Even though it's not that Criminal Minds isn't that much of a funny show, I still saw other people watching it, and it made me want to watch it as well. You were on HBO show Craftopia with Laura DIY. You got eliminated on round 1. What was that like? I would say the show is such a fun experience. I had so much fun on the show, and I got to meet so many new people. I loved it on there. I was a little sad that I got eliminated on round 1, but still, it was still a fun experience to be a part of that show and just being a part of Craftopia, because I love crafting. Sewing is a part of crafting, and so it's one thing that I really like doing. And so I was happy that I was able to be a part of it because crafting is really a part of my life. So you have plans to move to New York for college. Why New York? Well, New York is one of my favorite places to travel to. When I first traveled there, I fell in love with it. New York is my favorite place. And then also my dream college, which is Parsons, where I'm taking free college classes, is out there, and they have a great fashion program. And originally I wanted to move to Paris. My mom was like, no, that's not happening, because it's full of fashion, and so is New York. And so we kind of settled on New York. I love New York. I love the fashion. I love the city. I just love everything about New York. You are big on making vision boards. Why are these so important to you? And why are they just so important in general? Vision boards, I think they're very important because they help me really put out my goals for the future and find out what I want to do for the year. And then I get to manifest them. Like when you start to see things and having them in front of you and seeing them over and over again, you tend to start manifesting them and making them, and then having them start happening, and some of them start to happen. And so that's really why I like making vision boards, because I'm able to set my goals and just be able to manifest my dreams and goals for the year. So what are some of my goals for the rest of the year? Some of my goals really is to read as many books as possible this year. I believe my goal was about 10 books. One of my goals also was to travel this year, but all of this happening, I wasn't able to do that. And then another one was to have my own show, which I'm able to do here with Juniority TV. And I have this show, which is one of my goals. Another one was I believe it was to do better in pottery. Because I remember when I first was doing pottery during quarantine, I was a little bit rusty because I hadn't done pottery for like a whole semester. And so I wanted just to get better at it. And now I'm so much better. So I was able to complete one of those goals. So one thing most people don't know about you. I think one thing most people don't know about me is I'm a bit of a geek. I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. I love Harry Potter. All those things, I love them. And I think most people don't know about me. Like anytime a Marvel movie comes out, Star Wars, I have to be the first person to watch them. I love all of those. And yeah, that's one thing that most people don't know about me. And then lastly, one piece of advice that has stuck with me, and this is something I tell everyone, is don't let your age stop you from what you want to do. That has stuck with me ever since I started Khloe Cares, because when I first started, people, they were kind of like, oh, you can't do this because you're this age, or you can't do that because you're that age. But I feel like you can do anything no matter the age you are. I feel like this year, a lot of kids have proved that, and we've broke many barriers, and we've showed that our age is not a number, and that does not stop us. But thank you for joining me today. I had so much fun talking to you all about me, and I hope you all learned something new about me. But thank you so much.